Hello, my friends. Welcome back to Senior Wellness Path, where we walk together on the journey to better health, one simple step at a time. Now, let me ask you something. How many of you start your morning with a plate of scrambled eggs or maybe a soft-boiled egg with toast? Eggs are a staple in many of our kitchens. They're packed with protein, vitamins, and nutrients that keep our bodies strong and our minds sharp. But what if I told you that some common mistakes in how we cook or handle eggs could be quietly stealing those health benefits from us? Or worse, putting our health at risk? Today, we're diving into 7 critical mistakes people make when eating eggs. And I'll bet you've unknowingly made at least one of them. But don't worry, I'll show you how to fix these little slip-ups so you can enjoy your eggs in the safest, healthiest, and tastiest way possible. All right, mistake number 1 might surprise you because it's something we don't always think about: eating eggs that are old or expired. Now, I know what you're thinking, but eggs last forever in the fridge, right? Well, not quite. Eating old eggs doesn't just affect the taste, it can actually put your health at risk. And as we get older, our immune systems aren't as strong as they used to be, which means something like a mild case of food poisoning for a younger person can hit us much harder. So how can you tell if your eggs are still fresh without relying on this tiny, hard-to-read dates on the carton? Let me share a simple trick that I use in my own kitchen. It's called the float test. Here's how it works. Fill a bowl with water and gently place your egg inside. If it sinks and lays flat on its side, it's fresh and good to eat. But if it stands upright or floats to the top, it's time to toss it out. Why does this happen? Well, as eggs age, the liquid inside starts to evaporate and air fills the empty space, making the egg float. It's like a little science experiment right in your kitchen. But that's not the only sign. If you crack an egg open and it smells bad, kind of like sulfur or rotten eggs, you know it's gone bad. Fresh eggs have no smell at all. And if the egg whites are really runny or the yolk breaks easily, that's another clue it's past its prime. To keep your eggs fresh longer, make sure you're storing them in their original carton in the coldest part of your fridge, not in the door. The door is the warmest spot because it's opened and closed all the time. And remember, if you spot a cracked egg in the carton, toss it out right away. Bacteria can sneak in through those cracks even if the egg looks okay from the outside. All right, now that you know how to keep your eggs fresh and safe, let's move on to mistake number 2. This one might be robbing your eggs of their nutrition, and you might not even realize it. Now, let's talk about mistake number 2, and I bet a lot of us have done this without even realizing it: overcooking your eggs. You might be thinking, well, isn't it better to cook them longer just to be safe? But here's the thing. When you overcook your eggs, not only do they lose that soft, creamy texture we all love, but you're also cooking away some of their best nutrients. Have you ever boiled an egg and noticed that weird grayish-green ring around the yolk? That's a sure sign it's been overcooked. It happens when the sulfur in the egg whites reacts with the iron in the yolk. And while it's not dangerous, it sure doesn't look very appetizing, does it? But it's not just about looks. Overcooking eggs can actually reduce important nutrients like vitamin B12 and antioxidants that help protect your body from disease. And let's be honest, no one likes a rubbery, scrambled egg or a chalky, hard-boiled one. So how do we fix this? It's all about timing and temperature. For hard-boiled eggs, set a timer for 9 to 12 minutes, depending on how soft or firm you like your yolk. Then, as soon as they're done, dunk them in cold water to stop the cooking process. This also makes peeling them a breeze. When making scrambled eggs, cook them on medium-low heat and stir gently. They should be soft, fluffy, and a little creamy, not dry and crumbly. And for those perfect fried eggs, keep the heat on low to medium so the whites set nicely without making the yolk too firm. A runny yolk is not only delicious, but it's packed with nutrients too. So the next time you're making breakfast, Remember, gentle heat is your best friend when it comes to eggs. Your taste buds and your body will thank you. Now, let's move on to mistake number 3. And this one might be sneaking into your diet more than you realize. It's all about the fats you're using in the pan. Here's mistake number 3, and it's a sneaky one that can quietly add up over time, using too much butter or oil when cooking your eggs. Now, I get it. Who doesn't love the rich, creamy flavor of eggs fried in a bit of butter? It's comforting, nostalgic even. But here's the catch. Too much fat not only changes the taste and the texture of your eggs, it can also add unnecessary calories and unhealthy fats to your meal without you even noticing. Let me give you a quick example. Just 1 tablespoon of butter adds about 100 calories and 11 grams of fat to your eggs. Now, if you're like me and enjoy 2 or 3 eggs in the morning, that can quickly turn a light breakfast into a heavy, calorie-packed meal. And for those of us watching our cholesterol or weight, those extra calories can sneak up faster than we think. But don't worry, you don't have to give up delicious eggs to stay healthy. It's all about balance and moderation. Try using just a teaspoon of butter or a light drizzle of olive oil instead of pouring it in. Olive oil is a great choice because it's full of heart-healthy fats that can actually help lower bad cholesterol. Better yet, invest in a good non-stick pan. It lets you cook eggs with minimal or no added fat, and they'll still come out soft and flavorful. You can also switch things up by trying poached or boiled eggs, which don't require any added fats at all. They're light, nutritious, and just as satisfying. And here's a bonus tip. If you still want that buttery flavor without all the extra fat, try adding a little sprinkle of your favorite herbs or spices. A dash of paprika, some fresh chives, or even a hint of garlic powder can make your eggs taste amazing without adding unnecessary calories. All right, now that we've lightened things up a bit, let's move on to mistake number 4. This one is a kitchen habit you might not even realize is putting your health at risk. Now, let's talk about mistake number 4, and this one's all about how you crack your eggs. It might seem like a small thing, but trust me, it makes a big difference. The mistake, cracking eggs directly into the pan. I know, it's quick, it's easy, and we've all done it. But here's why it's not the best idea, especially when it comes to keeping things safe and healthy in the kitchen. First off, eggshells can carry bacteria like salmonella on their surface. When you crack an egg straight into the pan, you risk letting any of that bacteria slip into your food. And while our bodies might have handled that a bit easier when we were younger, as we age, our immune systems aren't as strong, making us more vulnerable to foodborne illnesses. But that's not the only reason to avoid cracking eggs directly into the pan. Have you ever cracked an egg and, oops, a bit of shell falls in? Trying to fish out a tiny eggshell from hot oil or a sizzling pan isn't just frustrating, it's dangerous. Plus, cracking straight into the pan makes it harder to spot a bad egg before it ruins your whole dish. So what's the fix? It's simple. Crack your eggs into a separate bowl first. This way you can check for freshness. If the egg looks or smells off, you'll catch it before it touches your food. You can also spot and remove any eggshell fragments before they end up in your breakfast. And if you're making scrambled eggs or an omelet, cracking into a bowl lets you add your seasonings and whisk everything together for a more even, fluffy texture. It's a small step, but it makes a big difference in both the safety and quality of your meal. Plus, it saves you from those surprise crunchy bits. No one wants that in their eggs. All right, we've tackled cracking eggs, but here's mistake number 5. And it's a big one when it comes to keeping you and your loved ones safe. Neglecting proper kitchen hygiene after handling eggs. Now, I know it might seem like common sense, but you'd be surprised how easy it is to forget this simple step. Raw eggs, just like raw meat or poultry, can carry harmful bacteria like salmonella. And even though the eggshell looks clean, it can still be contaminated from the farm or during transportation. Here's the part many people overlook. After you crack an egg, anything you touched, the countertop, your utensils, even your hands, can carry those bacteria. And if you're not careful, it can spread to other foods, especially ones you're not cooking, like fresh fruits or salads. That's called cross-contamination, and it's one of the most common ways people get sick from food. So what should you do? Here are a few easy but important steps to keep your kitchen safe. First, wash your hands thoroughly with warm, soapy water after handling raw eggs. It only takes 20 seconds to make a big difference. Next, make sure to clean any utensils like whisks, spatulas, or bowls that touched the raw egg. Don't just rinse them with water. Use hot, soapy water to kill any lingering bacteria. And don't forget about your kitchen surfaces. If you've cracked eggs on the counter or spilled a bit, wipe it down with a disinfectant or a mixture of vinegar and water to keep things clean and safe. Also, when storing your eggs, keep them in their original carton in the fridge. This helps prevent the eggs from absorbing odors from other foods and protects them from cracking. And if you notice any eggs that are cracked in the carton, it's best to toss them out. Bacteria can sneak in through those tiny cracks. These simple steps go a long way in protecting your health, especially since as we get older, we can be more sensitive to foodborne illnesses. A little extra care in the kitchen keeps your meals not just tasty, but safe too. All right, we're getting close to the end, but mistake number 6 is one that can really make or break your eggs: over-seasoning or under-seasoning them. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's just eggs. How much seasoning do they really need? Well, here's the thing. Eggs are like a blank canvas. On their own, they've got a mild, comforting flavor. But without the right seasoning, they can taste pretty bland. On the flip side, too much seasoning can overpower the delicate flavor of the eggs and leave you with something that's way too salty or spicy. Let's start with under-seasoning. A lot of people skip adding even a pinch of salt or pepper, thinking it's not necessary. But a tiny bit of seasoning can really bring out the natural richness of the eggs. It's like adding just the right amount of light to a beautiful photo. You don't need much, but it makes a big difference. On the other hand, there's the over-seasoning trap. It's easy to get carried away with the salt shaker or throw in too many spices like garlic powder, paprika, or hot sauce. While these flavors are great in moderation, too much can completely drown out the taste of the eggs and even affect their texture. Plus, for those of us watching our sodium intake, which is especially important for heart health, too much salt can sneak up fast. So how do we find that perfect balance? Here are a few simple tips. Start with a light sprinkle of salt and pepper just before or right after cooking. Adding salt too early can make your scrambled eggs watery because it breaks down the egg proteins. Want to get creative? Try adding fresh herbs like chives, parsley, or even a touch of basil. These give your eggs a fresh, vibrant flavor without overwhelming them. If you like a little heat, go easy on the spices. A dash of paprika or cayenne pepper goes a long way. You can always add more, but you can't take it out once it's in. And for an extra creamy texture, a small sprinkle of cheese, like feta or cheddar, can take your eggs to the next level without needing much salt at all. Remember, eggs are all about balance. A little seasoning enhances their natural flavor, but too much can overpower it. Keep it simple and you'll have eggs that are both delicious and healthy. Now let's crack into our final mistake. Mistake number 7, and this one's all about something you might have been told to avoid for years, the egg yolk. But trust me, you might want to rethink that. Now, I can't tell you how many times I've heard people say, I only eat the egg whites because the yolks are bad for my heart. Maybe you've even tossed the yolks yourself, thinking you're doing your body a favor. But here's the truth. egg yolks aren't the villains we once thought they were. Yes, it's true that yolks contain cholesterol, but recent research has shown that the cholesterol we eat, what's called dietary cholesterol, doesn't have as big of an impact on our blood cholesterol levels as we once believed. In fact, for most people, eating moderate amounts of egg yolks has little to no effect on heart health. But here's the kicker. By skipping the yolks, you're missing out on a ton of essential nutrients that are packed inside that golden center. Egg yolks are rich in vitamin A, which helps with vision and immune health. Vitamin D, crucial for bone strength and mood regulation. Vitamin B12 and folate, which support brain health and energy levels. And let's not forget those healthy fats like omega-3s, which are fantastic for heart health and brain function, two things we definitely want to protect as we age. Now, that's not to say you should go overboard and eat 6 yolks a day, but enjoying 1 or 2 whole eggs as part of a balanced diet is not only safe for most people, it's actually beneficial. If you're still concerned about cholesterol or calories, you can always do a mix. Try 1 whole egg and add an extra egg white or 2. This gives you the best of both worlds, protein from the whites and nutrients from the yolk. And here's a little fun fact. The fats in egg yolks actually help your body absorb some of the vitamins found in the whites. So when you eat the whole egg, you're making the most of all the nutrition packed into that little shell. So the next time you're whipping up breakfast, don't be afraid to let that yolk shine. Your body and your taste buds will thank you, bringing it all together. And there you have it, friends. 7 common mistakes people make when eating eggs. From keeping them fresh and safe to cooking them just right and not being afraid of the yolk, these small changes can make a big difference in both flavor and health. Eggs are one of nature's simplest, most powerful foods, and with the right approach, you can enjoy them to the fullest, whether it's a sunny side-up breakfast, a fluffy omelet, or a healthy snack. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like this video and share it with a friend or family member who loves their eggs as much as you do. And if you've got any egg cooking secrets of your own, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for joining me on Senior Wellness Path, and until next time, stay healthy, stay happy, and keep enjoying the little things like a perfectly cooked egg.